easy access. And then lastly, we have youth-friendly services, and this we target the youth. From the previous discussions we've had, we know that there is a high prevalence of teenage pregnancy. It's at 15% as by the 2022 PHS. But there are certain areas in the country that are as high as 50. In Bungoma, Samburu, there are 50. That means every 2 ladies you meet, one is pregnant. Imagine. We need to do something, right? With those few remarks, I want to welcome Heidi.
So thank you so much, Doc. In the spirit of how we fit in the social business model, we welcome David Cody to take us through the next session.
Thank you so much, Josiah, for the opportunity. All dignitaries in the house. I'll quickly take you through what our MSK Centers network looks like, what we do in the centers, and what makes us stand out as what we are. So as MSK Centers, we're in a social model kind of a business, and for us to be able to be sustainable, we've got certain building blocks that goes along with this. So number one thing is on service diversification. Over the years, we've tried to really diversify our services. I know previously we were only known for family planning and post-abortion care, but right now we've brought in quite a number of services within our centers. We're offering general outpatient consultations. We're offering a wide array of reproductive health services and also laboratory testing services. When it comes to this campaign, one of the things that is featuring prominently in our centers is the woman wellness care that we have. And we do women wellness care, of course, was document their medical history and also be able to document their health habits. So number two, that is followed by physical examinations, which would also significantly improve the healthcare of the women that we serve. Again, in order to ensure sustainability, we're actively doing a lot of marketing activities just to ensure that there is enough client footfall in our centers. We're taking advantage of the digital space, and we've got digital marketing venues that we use. We've also got SRH blogs that can be easily accessible by all of us. One of the key barriers to the uptake of health services in this country has always been health financing. So most people in the country are not getting the quality of care that they need to get simply because they cannot finance their healthcare needs. What is not known to people is that private health financing or the government-led NHIF is much cheaper than paying out of pocket. That has seemed to be unsustainable to most people. So in that space, there are a number of private health insurances that we work with, 14 of them in total, including some corporations like the Geothermal Development Company, and we're still in the process of empaneling more so that we can enhance accessibility to our services. Again, what is key for us is development of commercial mindset. And in this, as Maristops and as MSI in the countries that we operate in, there's a capability framework in what we call a Centers Academy that we use. So this basically looks at three things in general. So number one, it's looking at the knowledge. Do we know what we're supposed to do? Number two, it's looking at the abilities. Do we know how to do them correctly? And for that purpose, we have an internal medical development team. And for each and every service that we offer, we always ensure that they are competency-based. So all the service providers are taken through a competency kind of schedule that is capable of rating them as level 1, 2, and 3. The level 1s can confidently provide the services. without any supervision. Then there are those who have to be supervised to provide services at level 1 when they're alone. Again, we've got a maternity, and our maternity is now located at ECD. So in our maternity, the building blocks are more or less the same as what we have in the centers. What is unique in the maternities is that there's a lot of emphasis and focus on client retention. Statistics have shown that less than 1/3 of pregnant mothers go through their entire antenatal clinic visits. They do not complete them up to the 8 visits. So our focus here is to ensure that we retain all mothers who start antenatal care with us, and we've got trained healthcare professionals from gynecologists, medical officers, to midwives who take these mothers through ANC classes to ensure that we achieve that retention. And the retention is important to us because if you do not retain them, then you'll get very few mothers delivering. When you've got few mothers delivering, it means the competency of the service providers that we have will be low. So as NSA, we take this very seriously to ensure that there are at least 30 deliveries in a month, and that is what is a little bit unique to the maternity's building blocks. And the bottom line is the excellent client experience. And this is through client-centered care. And I also want to report to you that we are one of the very first organizations and health institutions in Kenya to have rolled out respectful maternity care services in our network. In 2022, we held a very successful conference, and it was held here in Kenya. We invited about 10 countries who are here to share their experiences and also to learn from us as we roll out the respectful maternity care. So, as I alluded to earlier, so these are some of the services that we do offer. In our maternity hospital in ENH, we do not just focus only on antenatal care and deliveries. It is a full-fledged level 4 hospital with 2 fully equipped theaters that can be able to also serve mothers in need of other gynecological procedures. Again, we offer comprehensive STI treatment and screening. In line with this, also there is cervical cancer screening that targets women. We also got a menstrual health hygiene that is targeting the young girls who just beginning to see their menstrual periods. As it was also mentioned, we've got 14 centers. When I talk about centers, these are outpatient clinics spread across the country. We have 6 in Nairobi, which were already mentioned. There's one in Pangani, we've got one at Samia Park along Mombasa Road, another one in the CBD at JKUAT Towers, it's called ICL. There's another one in Rongai. We've got one also at Kenyatta Market. We've got another one in Kangemi, and also at Kilimani along Kindaruma Road where our offices sit. Then there are other clinics spread across the country. In Nakuru there is one, there's another one in Kisumu, another one in Eldoret. There's also another clinic that is in Meru, Nyeri, and Mombasa. So that is just a list of some of the private health insurances that we work with. There are some that are not appearing here because they do not allow the use of their logos in such kind of forums. But as I mentioned, we have a total of 14 of them. Thank you so much, and I welcome any questions.
So thank you, David, alongside Dr. Dan, for telling us how you normally fit in to the other country program, basically the mission and the vision. So what follows next is basically the gist as to why we are all here. So for those who are with me, thumbs up. Thumbs up. You've had it from the lead person leading the Kenyan Country Program. We have feedback. So this is the session that we would require honest developmental feedback from you guys. We need to hear what the media has to say. Is this the best venture that will bring instant reward? What of the experts in the house? Is there anything that we need to add or change? And every other person, so I call on your concentration because we will need your honest feedback. Over to you, Amy.
Hi everyone. Hi. We'll play a small video just before I do the presentation about the campaign. Thank you. Yeah, so the video just introduced the campaign. That's part of the material that we'll have. And as the country director mentioned, we'll want to get feedback. But we're here to showcase to you our campaign plan, our campaign storyboard, to get feedback and just how we can improve to run a very successful campaign that will focus on a whole woman from the time a young girl starts her menstrual periods all the way to menopause. So the campaign goal is to reposition Maristops Kenya as a woman wellness service provider, serving a woman from menstruation to menopause. So we know that as a young girl is starting her periods, there are some things that she needs to know about, but our community, quite often they don't talk about these things. So we're here to just be there for them, to provide the various services, support, counseling that they will need by the time they start their periods, all the way in between when they in campus, there are STIs, there are few issues that they may need support in, and we are there to just support that, give that support from menopause, from menstruation to menopause. So what is this campaign about? So as we all know from the previous presenters, we've been a driving force in family planning and championing for women's health in Kenya for the last 37 years. But we've now extended our services and we're expanding to be a true woman service provider, serving women through all stages of life, from menstruation to menopause. So this is a shift that will fundamentally be aligned to our long-term sustainability goals, just based on the 2030 strategy guideline that our country director presented. So our clinics will serve women and their partners, so men are also welcome, and their partners were appropriate through all stages of womanhood. So we all know that whether women are trying to get a baby, whether they're taking the relationship to the next level, whether they're going through menopause, Maristops Kenya will be here to empower them and make them feel like that they're best women that they are throughout every stage and throughout the changes that happen in their bodies. So we are here to support the women from menstruation to menopause, and the women can always be sure to receive expert care in terms of information and even services from Maristops Kenya. So what is this campaign about? I have written here something, kindly allow me to read, to just set tone for the campaign. So aren't women awesome? We are stargazers, jugglers, cuddlers, a true force of strength, resilient and energy. We manage to balance work, studies, families, and achieve remarkable things as we go. But from puberty throughout manhood, our body changes. There are aggravating aches, surprising smells, and maddening moods that spring up without warning. Along the way, there is pain that can't be explained, and sometimes symptoms would rather not be discussed with a colleague. We've all been there as women, trying to work through a mystery that a woman's health. But in the seas of hearsay and internet articles, it's easy to get lost. And even when we turn to our friends for advice, it can be too embarrassing to ask them if they are experiencing the exact same thing as you are. After all, no two bodies are the same. When we experience unfamiliar changes in our bodies as women, what makes it worse is that the feeling of shame and embarrassment that you can't shake off. Our partners do care, but we can never truly understand what we are going through. Instead, we end up sitting alone, looking at ourselves in a mirror, wondering, is it normal? We are going through things, wondering, is this normal? Or is it something I need to worry about? Maristops Kenya wants to make this change. We are on a mission to help women understand the changes in their bodies, to know when they might need help, and to empower them to do it. From menstruation to menopause, Maristops Kenya experts will be with women's sides to keep them feeling their strong and remarkable selves. So we are here to build a campaign that will be empowering, basically celebrating the amazing women throughout their lives, and it will be authentic, working with real women and celebrating the real women achievements. It will be educational. We have materials that will teach women which body changes are normal throughout the stages of womanhood, which ones are not, and which ones should they need to be seeking for care. Then it will also be reassuring. That's reassuring Kenyan women that Maristops is here to support with services across women wellness at any stage of womanhood. So it's a campaign that will be very empowering to the women and very reassuring. So in terms of our target audience, we want to understand the right service for each audience, because we know that at each audience, at each stage, there are specific services that a woman will need. And as a breakthrough, throughout their lives, women may need all these services, but Maristops is here to reassure them that they are available if ever they need. They can visit us alone, and they can come with their partners and even their family members. So our door is open. So for the men, don't feel like Maristops is now our woman clinic. We also want to receive you and we'll be able to provide the needed services. So the campaign is here to speaking to all women from menstruation to menopause, and telling them that we have the services available to support them in every stage of womanhood. As you can see, we've been able to categorize our target audience into 3 main groups: an aspiring young woman who will be aged between 15-16 to around 20-24 thereabouts, an ambitious woman who's primarily a mother, they could be pregnant, it could be a couple trying to have children, so they might need fertility services, or a selfless matriarch who's an older woman and going through menopausal and premenopausal issues. Go back to the services, please. So as you can see, for the young women, they might need services such as menstrual counseling, which our service providers are well equipped to provide, sexual reproductive infection and screening management, family planning and contraception. And for family planning, we provide a whole range of family planning that's available, from short-term methods to long-term reversible methods, and also permanent methods. We actually do brag ourselves that no one provides a vasectomy as best as Maristops Kenya. No one provides a bilateral tubal ligation as best as Maristops Kenya. So we are there to provide a whole spectrum of family planning methods. We also offer couple fertility counseling and support. We offer antenatal care, maternity care, cervical cancer screening and treatment, and also menopause support to the older women. So I've already spoken to this. These are our 3 target audience that we'll be targeting. The young aspiring woman, most of them could be in high school, could be in campus, and they come for our services. And we have an ambitious mother, maybe my age group, I could be in that category. And then we have a selfless matriarch whose concerns are mainly perimenopausal treatment. They're concerned about breast cancer, cervical cancer, and basically just wellness packages to just ensure that I'm not having any diseases that come with age. So the campaign will also focus on the client's journey, just focusing on building the brand awareness, ensuring that they know about Maristops and who we are. They understand the health issues that affect her, and they recognize that the brand Maristops is there to help them, so it will drive their intention. Then we also got to build a brand understanding, basically creating awareness about the range of services that is offered by our brand. The campaign is also there to facilitate them uptake the service, so finding their way to where our Maristop Center will be. And also there to retain them, to keep them coming for services. As we saw in our maternity building block, client retention is really key. And this can only come after giving client-centered care services, which our service providers are well equipped to do that. Then we also want them to be advocates and to basically recommend their friends and family members to come for services. So in terms of brand level, we'll be speaking to all women from menstruation to menopause, telling them that we have services available to support them at every stage of womanhood. And we have developed some brand materials which will showcase here that show the different types of women at different stages and with a positive message on healthcare. So we intend to run the campaign through 4 main tactics. We want to run the campaign through some 4 major radio stations. We want to have the campaign run on TV through the national TV stations. We also want some materials to be shared through social media, because we know some of these target audience are on social media. They couldn't interview, they're not maybe listening to radio, but they're busy on their phones, on following some pages, some influencers, and we'll also be there to reach them. Then we'll also have some out-of-home marketing advertisements such as billboards, street calls, and just below-the-line activities, visiting like universities and creating activations and awareness about the campaign. So these are some of the materials that we've developed, and now key I just wanted to highlight. Under menstrual counseling, we'll encourage women to book a menstrual counseling appointment on how to manage their periods and keep them feeling great. On cervical cancer treatment and preventive treatment, we want to empower women to feel confident that they are free of cervical cancer symptoms by getting screened at the right time. The right time underlined there, because with cancer, time is of essential. Then in regards to sexual and reproductive infection screening and management, we want to encourage young people to be proactive with their sexual and reproductive health issues and bring more awareness on any unusual changes that they might be experiencing. So we have some content: is it normal, is it not normal, what should I be experiencing, at what stage. Then of course with family planning, we'll be providing women and even the men with information on the many available options that are available in our service delivery points, and allow them to stay in control of their family planning in the future. Around antenatal care, we want to encourage women to stay with Maristops through their pregnancy and attend all the required antenatal checkups, have the scans, and be fully supported from antenatal all the way to delivery. And we also have specific antenatal classes that our team will be there to go through this journey with the pregnant mothers. Then in terms of maternity care, we'll be promoting a positive start to motherhood through a safe delivery experience tailored to their needs. For couple fertility counseling and support, we'll be helping couples with their fertility journey to find what works for them and can provide them with the best chances of conceiving. Then around diagnosis, the purpose of women wellness. So we develop a set of packages that is really geared to diagnosing issues early. So in the package, we have a package for the young aspiring woman, we have a package for an ambitious mother, we have a package for the older women, the selfless matriarch. And this is to basically help, it will have a range of services to help identify health issues in good time so that they don't get into an emergency where they are being diagnosed maybe with cancer at stage 4 or stage 5 and there's very little that can be done. So that's it. You'll allow us to share just a few of the articles, and I'll call Maggie to run with this. And we'll share 2 videos, get feedback from you. Then we'll share some audio, radio audio ads that we have developed, and also get feedback to basically make our campaign more inclusive and focus on that woman that we want to reach. Thank you.
Okay, I really appreciate that. So as Maggie is getting ready, I kindly request you to use your notebooks to write down your comments, your input, your buy-in, any kind of feedback. As we said, we love feedback.
Good morning, everybody. I believe I didn't have a chance to introduce myself in the morning. My name is Margaret Wanjiru. I work with Maristops Kenya at the contact center, where we always ensure that nobody is one phone call away from receiving SRH information and advice. So here we're going to play a few videos. I had already played the first video. We are going to play another video that will be used through the campaign period. Then again, we will also play 4 audios that will be used throughout the campaign period. And this is the first video that will be played.
I learned about Maristops in school. I was given medication to manage my hormones, and the bleeding stopped. I did not feel touched, and for the first time I felt I had someone who really got me. I went for a cervical cancer screening, which I am happy to say I was cleared of.
Because of Maristops, I chose that
I chose to love my body again. I know that I'm never alone. I trust my source for every single day.
So that video will be played in our local TV stations, and as you've seen, we've tried to incorporate the different audiences. That is the aspiring young woman, the middle-aged woman, and also the self-matured inside the video. And then we also have another video that is going to be played. This is the second one. Yes, that is the second video that we've proposed. Again, all these are, we've proposed, and we are kindly seeking for you guys to give us your feedback so that at the end of the day we have a video that is all inclusive. We will also have audios. We collect the feedback for the videos first.
Thank you guys. As I mentioned, we need feedback from both angles. We've had it first from Honorable Dr. Profuyo, who said we need to add a picture that does represent, for lack of a better word, the village woman. Then again, as she said, the other photo about the lady who is on her menopause. It has to be more pronounced. And then again, he gave feedback that as MSK, we need to interact more with the decision makers, the policy makers, also the parliamentary group. So let's get started.
Good morning again.
Good morning.
From a media house. But we do more of the radio and digital, so I assume some of those videos might play on the platforms that we represent. Now, TV has become a very national item that is in all households, not just the middle upper. We have a lot of people watching TV back in the villages. We have women in the village who are struggling to go through the stages of their bodies. So I'm just thinking the videos are middle upper. Are we going to have a Kenyanized local video for the common woman to feel that she's on board with the campaign?
Thank you so much. I hope, Susan, you are helping us capture the feedback. So it's not about the photo, but also a video that maybe represents the common woman. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So I will speak, one as a woman, two as a mother, three as a daughter, four maybe representing because so number one, I heard that we are going to change the name from Mali Stops to NSI. When is that going to happen? Because for me, that is key. That change or that rebranding is going to get a lot of buy-in. Because most people hear Mali Stops, yes, it will be all stage of a woman, and yes, we are speaking about abortion, but not everyone is open to that topic. So we should just have that at the back of our minds, because now we are addressing all the women. That is number one. So changing or rebranding is really going to benefit most people. Number two, we are targeting women from menstruation. But I want to urge us, let's target, let me not call them women, but girls between the ages of 10 to 14. How will we target these girls? As a mother, I need to know where can I take my girl who is between the ages of 10 to 14 to just learn about menstruation or what to expect. And they should have this option to be Maristops or MSI Kenya when it changes the name. So let us consider that age group, because this menstruation starts from the age of, is it 9, 10, depending. And now women start menstruating early because of the diet, climate change, and everything that we are taking. So let us not just say from 16. While speaking about age again, I noted in the presentation we did put the age group 25 to 35, and then from that we jumped to 40. So we missed 35 to 40. You know, a lady must be 36 and say, oh, okay, so where am I? So when we're doing those age groups, let's make sure that we have captured all the age groups clearly. So with that, since I've said about the ages of 10 and 14, we need to engage, of course, just Ministry of Education, you know, and since you're talking about 19 to 24, 16 to 24, that is the Ministry of Youth. So we need to get all this buy-in in the messages that we are going to give. Otherwise, this is a very good initiative by Maristops Kenya, because most organizations normally deal with women in reproductive age. We just talk about family planning, antenatal care. What about this woman going through menopause? That is some confusing age period. They don't know whom to speak to. So kudos, Maristops Kenya or MSI, but just know that we are going to support you in this campaign and also in this messaging. This resonates well with me because as a family physician, I deal with patients pre-conception, before you get pregnant, till you are born, up to your old age. So this one resonates very well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Doc. The feedback is timely. I call it supportive and challenging feedback, revolving around replanning, age cohorts, and not forgetting the buy-in from MOE. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. I think what I have to say, part of it has been answered by her, the previous speaker, about the target and also the type of women we are looking at, which the table has really spoke well about. If that woman, Mashinani, and also the campaign materials need to speak to her, and not just the high-end woman. My second was on the second video. I don't know what time it should be playing on our living rooms. Because if we are targeting women, maybe consider it very late in the night. If you are targeting, because it has, I know there's no problem. We are trying to also target the girls at the age of 10. But also our girls at the age of 6, 7 can get some suggestive pictures playing in their mind. If that woman presses or presses and try to do something. So the time of playing this video to target the woman would also be ideal, so that the small girl doesn't get suggestive things and they try it out. arrive at.
Thank you for that feedback, Ivy and team. It is important to consider the time.
Thank you. I jotted down a few thoughts, but I was writing it on the program. Then I was brought this pamphlet, so you will allow me. First, I want to appreciate because when I came, I didn't anticipate that this is the work we're going to discuss, and I think I was telling my colleague we had such a similar discussion with another organization called Kelly. I don't know whether they're here, and it was basically around AS and HR, so it's exciting to me. So maybe some of the things which, in my thinking, maybe can also boost the kind of campaign you're trying to bring on board. One, let's say for the school-going kids, one of the challenges, and I'm sure all of us here are witnesses to this, dysmenorrhea is one of the biggest problems that causes absenteeism, both in well-to-do families and who are not so well-to-do families. How can we bring in the aspect of marital services, keeping girls in schools? And in this, by this I mean, can we curate like a promotional video that shows maybe girls, let's say in uniform, being in school because they interacted with some marital services, because dysmenorrhea and menstrual issues are one of the biggest challenges. Secondly, maybe you might think about introducing, and maybe you might be doing it, youth-friendly clinics. And this could be, it can be physical clinics in the outlets that you listed, which Dr. Dan and I think David was talking about. But can you also try to think, can you also have like e-clinics? I think someone already mentioned here that the current generation, they are on TikTok, they are on Meta outlets. Can you have a live interactive clinics? Because the current marginalized groups, the current marginalization is actually the youth, the very young people who are not able to access mainstream healthcare services. So you find them on TikTok and these kind of things. Can you have interactive fora with your healthcare providers who can address the issue, or they can have live, Insta, live TikTok, and address maybe some of their issues. And then the other thing is, I don't know whether it's possible to develop through your IT people and a Maristo app, like an easy-to-use friendly app that can be an outlet of the information service we offer, and also get feedback from the targeted audience, across all the ages, so that clients are able to interact with your app. I've seen this with a senior guy who works in Bisha. He has his own a website where you can go ask questions. It's very personal, but you can actually almost interact with him. I think it's something which you can think about. Then I think the other thing which I think Dr. I think Oda and someone else was trying to talk about is menopause. Most of the times when you talk about health, women's health, menopause is usually the least thing we're talking about. And I think, I don't know whether there are women who have reached that age currently, but the current pandemic, can we think about this current pandemic of menopause? How can we curate the videos that will show maybe things like exercises, this kind of yoga, which can be in most of clinics or outlets, or even information that is packaged in such a way that is targeting the woman who is in the menopause. Most of the time, menopause symptoms will keep women from work or hot flashes and things like this. Can you have a promo video which shows that after interacting, most of services, you're able to keep our women in the workplaces and improve their quality of life? I'm almost finishing a particular period of time. Then maybe this is a little bit more, maybe a personal experience. Maybe you can think about, when you think about mainstream media, one of the branches I've seen do very well in mainstream media is Ethiopia, for instance. And I hope I won't be sorry for mentioning their name. So what I've seen them do, and I've been involved partly in this work of promotion, is like they sponsor a show, for instance, where a doctor comes, talks about particular conditions, but at the background, you're able to see that this is actually sponsored by Ethiopia, and I've actually seen it even with other clinics. An example is, let's say, Inoro TV, for instance. A doctor is communicating some message around a condition, but at the end of during the breaks, they are reinforcing the fact that they can be found in this and this VTR. So can you say this doctor can be found in Maristop, this branch, or something like that? And court, when there was a pandemic, they had come up with this strategy of having conversations. I think it was around pap smears and cervical screening, but in different dialects. Like doctors from, let's say, Kikuyu tribe, Kamba, Luo, talking their own dialects on short YouTube videos regarding a particular condition. I think that's all I could say. But I think more importantly, we can also bring things like minimally invasive surgical services, which I think is where we, the third world countries, that's where we are heading. The first one is 100 years past that. Thank you for listening to me.
Wow, thank you so much, Doc. By the way, I was just reading some, similarities from Doc and in absentia, Prof. I'm interested in her. You know her? President Figo? You're going far, my brother. I just met you today, but get my word, you're going far.
Good morning. I'll talk on radio, on TV, because I do work with Royal Media, so we have Ramogi, Inoro, and Citizen. I do love the video, but as she said, it's not Kenyan enough. I think the first thing that I was looking for is which Kenyan is talking in that video, and then I was more able to relate with her. I did love the message, my choice. It's my choice. That speaks a lot, and it also got me thinking that what are those health conditions that I can come to Maristops and try and solve, because I do need them. So that's really related, and it's a good message to pass out that it's you to decide to go on and to get all these services at Maristops. For on ground, I would suggest if you can have something with mom and daughter, especially if you're targeting teenagers, these young adults. I think when you have both of them in the room, it will be easier to communicate with them, it will be easier for them to get comfortable coming for the services. Another thing would be in digital. Maybe this would be a little bit of a concern. On TikTok, I'm very active. I'm Gen Z, so I'm very active on TikTok. There's a particular, maybe you can tell me or share with me, the behavioral approach of, so if I mess up, the first thing I'll go is Maristops. I can go for my abortion, Maristops. So anytime somebody's messing up, and the first thing that will go to Maristops. So is it like encouraging people to continuously misbehaving, doing whatever they want, and then they come back to TikTok and then they say Maristops. So maybe that you can consider when you're doing a campaign on digital, on how to demystify that on TikTok and these other platforms. Thank you.
Thank you for representing that group.
All right. Love the feedback. Apart from Kenyanizing the video, I think the videos are really good. Just Kenyanizing Kenyanizing them would be great. However, I feel like we have left out the men. I know it's all stages of a woman, but I feel like it's going to scare men away. I don't think that's what you want to do. I have had one lady saying that the husband had left everything to her because it's a woman's job to ensure that they get pregnant and bring babies. So I think at that point, probably the woman would have come back to the clinic with their partner. I don't think we want to scare men away. So in the videos, maybe we could try and show supportive men bringing their women to the clinic sometime.
Thank you, and I'm really moved because we don't want to be left behind. Thank you for that.
So the video is not bad, it's okay, but middle up, we understand. going down to, they don't know what's going on TV, they don't know what's going on radio. And with that also, you are targeting generations. Have that in mind in your messaging. Don't have one message, or don't deliver that message in a particular way. Try and find out who's Gen Z, who's a boomer, and how can you relate to them, how can you speak to them. That also will affect the format of your videos. The younger you go, shorter videos. They don't want to follow me, they just want, this is what I'm watching 30 seconds, perfect, I got it. The older generations need reaffirming, reassurance, they need more of the story. That's too short, what's happening. It takes time for them to know this is the topic. So as you're messaging, think about the different generations, even when you're doing the discussions, as much as you want to bring, all women together, they can't be together like that. Yeah. Then there was something someone said, is this normal? I thought that is a big idea, right? Because it's a medical campaign, don't leave that behind. I felt that the video somehow looked like success stories from many stores. No shots fired. Yeah, it sells you very well. It sells you as a multinational organization helping the world. But think about this, think about mimi mwenye ni mgonjwa ama mimi mwenye naumia, how do I feel I should go there? So also do content that is geared to, is this normal? Am I okay? I'm in menopause or I'm having my periods. Am I okay? And then answer it, man stops is the way to go. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Wisdom from Dr. Maki.
Okay, I'll start by saying that when you are talking towards the end, a lot of things you try to repeat. So you allow me to repeat one or two areas. But just to strengthen the resolve. Let me start from the outset. Looking at marriage stops in early 1990s when I joined or I started working with marriage stops, and today, and like our colleague here said, into the future. The message I'm getting is that we are rebranding from MSK to MSI. Right? MSI meaning international, bringing in the international connotation rather than the local impression, which has had a lot of challenges. When you look at the videos, they are giving a local impression, or maybe regional impression. So we need to mix up the clips so that they reflect, the international woman. Okay? Not just in terms of region, but also in terms of cultures, the way you are seen, and in terms of age. The young and the old. I think we need to capture all those aspects at the same time, so that the video, wherever you display it, in whatever forum, then it still remains relevant. If you take it to Turkana, for example, it still remains relevant. If you take it to those who speak Swahili or purely English, and because of Africa and promoting the African woman, again, we have to get French clips to capture the Francophone Africa. Okay? Because I believe this is not just happening in Kenya. Okay? Now, the marketing department, I think we need to strengthen it because first, right from the outset, even when I got the email of invitation, all state of woman campaign. All stage of woman didn't make a lot of sense to me. We needed to do a smart campaign sentence. If it is all stages, must be of a woman, not all stage of woman. So all stages of a woman, that's my proposal. If whoever was doing the marketing, internet marketing didn't get to know correct English, that should be the way it is. And then again, if it is all stages, like I think the politician said, we have to focus on menopause. We somehow have to find a way of placing menopause within the bracket of the campaign. And the reason is because in the process of modernization, women even in Kenya have started to experience those symptoms of menopause. So importantly that we now need to develop that component, just like it was developed in the developed world. Unlike before, where it wasn't a real major problem in our setups, but today it is. Those of you who see patients, you will agree with me that it is. And given the education that our women are going through, I think we cannot continue ignoring that aspect of women. Then, like I was saying when the politicians were talking, even if it is focusing on age 14, 15 to 50, that is, perhaps you can look at it as direct areas of action, but the indirect areas could be the younger than 14 and the older than 50. Now, having known the ups and downs of manuscripts over the years, and especially when I was working for government, there was a time that Maristops had the licenses withheld for a while, I think 2 or 3 years. And then when I got to learn about it, when I was at the highest office of reproductive health in the ministry, I was able to intervene and able to bring back the licenses of practice. So I remember the message at that time was Maristops need to also shine in other areas other than abortion. And I'm very glad when I learned that in your rebranding, you also want to provide fertility solutions. And having taken an interest in fertility myself, there is a alongside movement that is supposed to help infertile couples. And right now, women contribute 50% of causes of infertility, and men also contribute 50%. That means that although these services are very expensive, we know very clear examples like in Egypt, like in Jamaica and other countries that are very far and have made these services to become ordinary services. To be able to be afforded by women especially. You know, women are the ones who drive their fertility. So, in your expansion of services, because like you said, we are not focusing on today and tomorrow. We are focusing on many years to come. That is an area where you can start thinking about perhaps directly or indirectly recruit fertility specialists who can help in the designing and planning, so that at the end, you in your outlets, you'll be able to provide fertility services. Even if you will start with the basic services. They are affordable services and a fertility that can be done by most private clinics. Then of course, within the network, they are able to refer or interlink with the more advanced centers. And definitely in the campaign of all stages of a woman, women can get help that way. A little bit has been mentioned about technology in health. I would imagine that there is much more than we have talked about here. I don't know that department how much you have advanced it, but there's a lot of room for development. So if you want to, if you are planning to run Maristops and explore all the technology aspects in practice in health, the range is limitless. And at the end of the day, because of the connotation at the name of branding to international, from Kenya to international, I believe with that great collaboration, that department of telemedicine can really advance, and you'll be able to reach many more women, and with the networks, you'll be able to offer solutions to those women. Now, the biggest challenge in Kenya in health, as we offer health services, is affordability. And having been very good in, displaying your figures, the numbers, your outputs, your outcomes, and impact in terms of statistics, I don't know whether any attempt has been made to break down affordability and non-affordability. The women you have served that are not able to afford the formal services, yet we know the numbers are so many, those who require those services. I think with your international friends, we can even take care of those women who are needy and somehow they are not able to afford the services as it were. Majority of those women are able to subsidize or afford to some degree. And we know that internationally, subsidization is a principle of making services available to even the poor. And normally when you show the numbers the way we have seen today, you will be able to get people who can develop that subsidy facility, and that can really spread the name of Maristops. Since that time, I think 1991, when I started working with Maristops to today, and I've just learned you still have one major facility, right? The one in Missouri.
Yes.
I know resources have been a challenge, but in the rebranding period, you can plan for, and especially under the new health laws that are supposed to or are expected to provide more resources, you should be able to capture that opportunity so that finally when we start signing the contracts with the SHIF and probably the digital health component or act that will translate to referral networks, we should be able to see how we can think about a national referral center under MSI, okay? And then you have a network of hospitals, not just clinics, to offer curative care. Everybody is worried about curative care because it is very expensive. I know you have, all the years you've chosen promotive and preventive care, but I still feel that curative and rehab care, much as it is expensive to run, but under the new acts of health that we expect they will solve the health financing aspects of challenges that we see in Kenya. I believe you should be able to fit in fairly well and be able to reach more women than you are today. I think those are the issues that I captured, and a number of them, of course, have been expounded, and especially the ones of technology. But I still believe that there is more to it. I am part of the rebranding, and personally, having benefited from your services, I think it's high time that we are able to reach more Kenyans and be able to offer more advanced services and of course more comprehensive services. Thank you.
So thank you guys for the buy-in, honest feedback. So we have two more audio clips. Time check 11:10. We still have like 20 minutes or so. So over to you, IB, as we are coming closer to the end.
To everyone, no matter who.
So thanks for the feedback. We've noted all of them, and we'll keenly sit as a team and see how we can respond to all of them. And in terms of the branding, it's work in progress. We hope by the end of the year we'll have done that, because we see again the NGO board has its own processes, but we are following closely with our local team. And once we are now rebranded, of course we'll have a very big stakeholder meeting to tell you now, from today onward we have called this, and that we are looking for to have that session in the course of this year. So we'll call you when we are ready. I think we can't, Doctor, we can't tell you we'll rebrand on this date. We are still doing the legal, the NGO board, the processes before we are ready to now inform stakeholders, but it's coming this year. So thank you. We'll showcase, we'll just have a audios. We'll play only maybe 3 or 4, a maximum of 45 seconds. So they can play all of them, then you get all the feedback. And the audios will play on radio. We intend to even translate them to our local dialects, especially for our facilities that are in Mount Kenya, Western Kisumu, Mombasa. We hope to have those ones translated too. Okay, thank you.
To everyone, no matter who you are, we understand the joys and the frustrations your body can cause. From your first period to a heavy period to no period. From deciding family planning pills, injections or implants to trying for your first child. From treating infections to thinking about cancer prevention to embracing the changes as you become an ever-evolving version of yourself. We are here to lend a helping hand and help you thrive at every stage. Despite all the changes, your goals can remain certain. All it takes are brave, confident choices. WhatsApp us today on 070-981-9001 or call 0800-720-005 toll free and allow one of our discreet, trained staff to help you feel healthier and happier every step of the way. Murray Stokes.
For every stage of woman. That one is the brand audio. We'll go to another one that will showcase our ANC.
Congratulations on your pregnancy. Give your baby the best start in life with our comprehensive antenatal, delivery, and postnatal care services. Our team of experienced professionals provides personalized care throughout your pregnancy, from your first scan to your delivery and beyond. We'll guide you through every step of your pregnancy journey, answering your questions and addressing any concerns you may have. Make sure your pregnancy is in safe hands. WhatsApp us today on 070-981-9001 or call 0800 720-005 toll-free to schedule your antenatal care appointment and ensure the best possible outcome for you and your baby. Mary Stokes.
For every stage of woman. And then we can listen to another one for family planning.
Becoming a parent is an important choice, and one that we want to make at the best moment so that we can provide everything a child might need. Using contraception helps you focus on your goals, plan your future, and have your child when you're ready. At Murray Stokes, we can offer you a wide range of methods to suit your body and needs. Whether you think you want a child in 1 year, 5 years, or never, speak to our experts for professional, non-judgmental advice and services. WhatsApp us today on 070-981-9001 or call 0800-720-005 toll-free to find the clinic nearest you. Murray Stokes.
For every stage of woman. Then the last one is under STIs.
Are you suffering from burning when you pee, pain during sex, bad smelling discharge, rash, itching, or something else uncomfortable down there? Many infections are easy to treat, but can cause problems if you ignore them. So protect yourself and your partner by getting screened and treated. Our team of experts provides confidential, affordable screening and treatment for a range of infections that can happen to anyone. Our team of non-judgmental providers are here to help. Choose relief. WhatsApp us today on 070-981-9001 or call 0800-720-005 toll-free to find the clinic nearest you and take control of your sexual health. Mary Stokes.
For every stage of woman.
So thank you so much, Maggie, for those audio. I will invite two more key feedback regarding the audio. Then after which I will now give a direction on the next steps.
Thank you so much. So, did I hear anything on menopause? I think the first one was really focusing on menstruation, dysmenorrhea and all, but I did not hear something on menopause, which we are really trying, because after that there was ANC and then there was STI. Now, I stand corrected. The last one on STI, there's a part where it says our non-judgmental providers. Maybe could we change to maybe our supportive providers? It was just a thought. Yeah.
Thank you for that feedback.
So on the first video where you said brave choices, I know the right to have goes in hand with the right to information, so maybe you can say brave informed choices so that you're making a choice from a point of where you are well informed.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry I came late. I didn't introduce myself. My name is Linus Bigay. What you will already discuss, okay. I would like to acknowledge that the campaign is about all stages of a woman. But going through the material, I'm still feeling that men are part of this. If we completely leave men out, chances are very high that the practicability of this campaign, this woman will not practice what we want, because still men
is maybe change. Okay, so all the formats are the same. Maybe for each of them, they should be different. For example, the one for family planning, like if it was to include men, maybe I dramatized something instead of just that lady just speaking, so each format to be different. For the STI, I had the lady said partner. I didn't hear individual. It's not a must to get an STI maybe from just your partner. It might be just your individual who found yourself in this place. So maybe be inclusive of that. Yeah, yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. I'm just reinforcing what you're saying because on radio, you said you have very many adverts, so you're just running like 4. So all those ads, the ones I listen to, they're very emotional and you want to listen to them. But they're still very Apple, you know. We have national radio stations that are very powerful because on the trend of radio, we have a lot of people listening to radio nationally. They will want their own advert, like example of the Radio Jumbo platform, very powerful platform, which ads are going to run there. We have Kiss 100 for the youth, which radio ad will run there. The ones that I have listened to are more of classic FM, yeah? So we will have to, you have a lot of work to do, yeah, just to say that.
Thank you so much. You want to add?
She said basically things I would have said, but just maybe to congratulate. If you were speaking to me, the message is home. I love all those ads, honestly. I'm the target audience. Yeah, just wondering whether Jay-Z wanaongea sheng mimi nishogo kwa clinic nikatengenezwa say those kinds. But for me, message is home. I'm buying my stores. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I call that developmental feedback. As I welcome Susan to tell us the next steps in regards to the feedback, let me give this gentleman a chance to introduce himself.
Sorry, I'm Dr. Ken Alwara. I'm a plastic surgeon. Thank you for the. I know we work together because that's why I called we always cross refer, and there are things that because some of my most ladies, so I get a lot of this, and it's amazing what you're doing because if we work together, we get more of that. And since you're rebranding, this is a good idea. Just another addition is probably the use of influencers. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, welcome. Over to you, Susan. What next with this feedback? Are we going to start afresh? What is next?
My friend just said, we've got a lot to do, but we are really grateful for this feedback that you have provided, and that's why we called you here, so that you don't see those things happening in your stations and the TVs and everywhere without that, what do you call it, that engagement, yeah? So we've really taken note of that, and I think my colleague, my colleague Ivy, and I were just thinking, and we were actually having some of these conversations yesterday as we were preparing also. It can't be a one-size-fits-all kind of a thing. We really have to, and all of you have said it, we have to unpack it by that, all those cohorts that we are supporting. But I think for me, I think there's a component that we have left, and it's keeping on being amplified. And I think it's important that we look at it, and I will go back again to it because there are conversations that some of us are also involved in, they're older than 40 plus, Some of these 50 plus women
are actually very senior people in organizations. They're working, so they're not, they're not people who are in the, machinery. They are working. So how do we address some of those issues that are affecting menopausal women, because they are there and it's taking a toll on them, especially on some of them. Their careers are skyrocketing at that age cohort, because I think most people are stopping to work at 65. So 50, 55-year-old women are still very, very active women and well-read, and they can be able to be supported through some of these things. So I think that's something I really liked. And I also like the one of looking at these younger kids. Dr. Oda said that. So the younger girls, where do they get this information? All these changes that are happening around them. So yes, you're talking about the who started menstruation. What about the one who is anticipating? Because they keep being told, because I know like for little girls these days, when you're like 7, 8, you start carrying a small purse that mom gives you. So you carry it and you keep talking to them. So I think we need to also address those who have not. So we are really, really honored and really appreciate this feedback. We are not going to take it lying down. So we're going to sit down again, regroup, rethink some things. Kenyanizing, obviously. In fact, with that one, yeah, but let me just tell you a story about that. The result Kenyanize was not ready. But we were like, no, it's going to delay a lot of things. So let it go on. The shoots take long. So we said, let's just call you guys. We already start showing, because it's only the pictures that will change, but the message is the same. But I know you want to see a lady in a Masai sugar, those beads. A lady in the tea, whatever, a mama carrying a kyodo, those kind of things. We have noted that, and rest assured we are going to really work on that feedback. Yeah, I think I'm not going to talk about everything. I'll just, we may not be able to call another stakeholder engagement, but we're going to do we have a working group that will incorporate a couple of few others that are here, they are part of it, so that then we just take another, sometimes we get another eye out of the internal, just to check, did you look at what it is that you will say about this? So yeah, so rest assured we'll do that before we launch. Thank you very much.
As a been a pleasure having you all on board. I've been your MC, Josiah Mwandaza. I am the Clinical Quality Manager, Maris of Kenya. In that regard, I would like to leave you all with one quote from Churchill. So guys, to improve is to change. To be perfect is to change often. I now welcome Mark Kuli to give us a word of thanks. Many thanks to you all.
Thank you, Josiah, for that session, and thank you to everyone who is here. Indeed, you showed up for what you value, and there are issues of women in our country that we all know, and the mere fact that you took your time this morning to be here with us, we don't take it for granted. Let us appreciate ourselves for being in the room this morning. And I'm so much happy that we heard the Interreligious Council represented in this room. Our brand most of the times is judged, as somebody mentioned it somewhere. But the mere fact that they are here, it means that they also care about the issues that are affecting women, and we don't take it for granted. So we appreciate you so much. We had Washimiwa, they were here with us in the morning. The fact that they could spare time to be here with us, even at Absentia, we appreciate Honorable Basaris. We also appreciate Professor Jaldesa, and they value these issues. They talk about them passionately because they affect us. So I know Brian and team are still here. Please, when you see Washimiwa, pass our regards to them and tell them that we don't take it for granted that they were here with us. Can you let us appreciate them? Yes, on behalf of Milestones Kenya, on behalf of our county director, Dr. John Aracha, she was here with us in the morning. We want to say thank you, a big thank you for choosing to be here with us. Your technical input into this will go a long way to help that girl. And as Susan said, sometimes we need that third eye, we need that fourth eye just to look at it. The mere fact that we could be having maybe the money to run this into the TV stations, and then you go there, it is not communicating, then people start asking, what was Milestones trying to do in the first place? So we are so happy that we could get this from you, and indeed it will enrich this campaign in a big way. So thank you, our partners who are here, the various organizations represented here. We say a big thank you, and may God bless you all. I am reminded that we have food, so please, if you are feeling hungry, please don't go home without taking food that was graciously catered for. And then we also recognize that for you to be here, there was transport and that logistic bit of it. And this is being catered for by our colleagues. If you register with us and we have your M-Pesa number, definitely you are going to get your transport reimbursement. So with those many remarks, we say that from us, we are so happy, and we hope that next time when we call you, not only for this, but for any other, because we have so many other things going on. We work with partners who are represented here. So we are so happy Kelly was in the room. Many other partners that we work with, Dr. Mweke, we don't take it for granted, and all of you who are here. Asanteni sana. And for Milestones, by the way, we had a team that coordinated this. IB has had sleepless nights, that yesterday she told me that the moment this will be done, she will take some leave days. So we are happy. Let us appreciate my colleagues, by the way. Thank you so much, Susan. Thank you, Dr. Ketch, and our FOMC. Nobody says that here will be a show, but there is a bigger show vizuri. So we know what he does when he's not at Milestones. We say thank you so much. Asante sana. God bless you all. Oh, this meeting is declared closed.